How's it? Sean from the Games Yard. Triple A, the world's foremost open source grand strategy game. Community built maps, Axis and Allies game rules, 100% open source, community run, free to play game, live lobby play, live play by email, play versus AI. Completely free to download. So this is my first look at this Triple A. Here's what it looks like. And yeah, just to reiterate, this program is free software. You can redistribute it and or modify it under the terms of the GNU General Public License as published by Free Software Foundation. Now, if anybody's played Axis and Allies, and I haven't, okay, I think it's a board game. It was a board game by Evelyn Hill at Hasbro. And I also think they also made a computer version of this game as well. So this is a completely free game, updated, patched regularly with a vibrant community, and it's a game system. And I'm gonna do, just go through the website with you. Then I'll actually play a game, a small and I'll show you all the features of the game and what it offers for completely free. So you can download it here. You can go over here. You can also download it here, the 64-bit version. You can download it, the 32-bit version, the one for Mac, and the one for Linux. If you want the older release notes, you can go down here, download it here. Also the older versions. So if you load this up, you can also get the 32-bit version and the 64-bit. You can get the source code. Do whatever you want with it, to reprogram it. I don't know. I don't know much about source code, but there you go. So you can do that there as well. You've got maps you can download, so you can play it. The game is actually a World War II simulation. That's how it started, Axis and Allies. But they've adapted this game system to all kinds of eras. Like you can play the ancients. You can play in Rome and Carthage and whatever. There's all the rules, and you can download it. Yeah, and you can also download the game within the game system, the game setup. I'll show you now. Then you got these user guides, frequency asked questions, AAA game rules, manual. I'm going to show you that now. First run through, tactical handbook. You can also learn how to play online. You can go to YouTube and get a whole big tutorial how to play the game. And then, of course, you got all the help forums. That's like where you can see announcements, player help, bug reports, feature requests, and all this type of stuff in the forum. Yeah, I just want to show you the manual. Now, here's the manual. I mean, I've just been playing it the last 2 days for a couple of hours each day. My initial impressions, I've been really impressed. Okay, so here's the manual. It's a AAA rulebook, the world's foremost open source grand strategy game. Now, let me just go down here. Here's an overview. This best explains it. Okay, this is the best sort of explanation you'll get for this. AAA is a turn-based strategy game and board game engine. Though AAA comes with many games inside, it is just an engine for playing games and is not a game itself. AAA started out as a World War II simulation, but has since expanded to include different conflicts, as well as variations and mods of popular games and maps. A map is like a board, while a game is a specific setup on a map board. Okay, so what they've done is they've taken the basic, in other words, the basic Axis and Allies basic rules, how the mechanics of it, and then they've expanded it to other areas, like the ancients and the Napoleonic. And I'll show you all this. It's really, really good. Now, this manual is like professional. I mean, it teaches you everything. I went through the manual yesterday. It teaches you everything you need to know to play this game. And the game is simple. Let me tell you, it's not. It's simple to play, but difficult to master. It's one of those types of games. Oh, sorry. I'll just give you an idea. Now, at its core, the game comes with units. Like you've got infantry, artillery, armor, and all this sort of thing. Now, here's the simplicity of this game. The statistics are like infantry's got attack, defense, movement, cost, hit points, and size. And all the units have got the same statistics, just these 6 statistics. Now, how the game works, the mechanics of the combat. So you'll see this later, but I'll just give you an idea. is, say I'm going to attack into a territory, right? Into a territory that's adjacent to me, and the enemy's got troops there. Now, if I attack, I get a six-sided dice. It works on a six-sided dice. So if I got 2 infantry that it's attacking, I can throw six-sided dice, 2 six-sided dice. And if I score only one on that dice, the number 1, then I score a hit. Now, if I'm defending with infantry, I also throw a 6-sided dice. But if I score a 2 and below, a 1 or a 2, I score a hit. Now, here's the thing. Here's what makes this game quite unique, is that the computer doesn't work out what units get hit. You choose the units that you want to take as casualties. So it comes up with a list that says, like, there were 6 hits against you. You got to remove 6. So you can pick, you might not want to pick infantry. You could pick an artillery unit, because it's also got 1 hit point to put as a casualty. Or you could pick infantry, or you could pick armor. So it's unique. There's so many nuances in this game that I've just been discovering over this last few days. I mean, yeah, I'm really impressed. So the game also, these units, even though they're simple statistics, they also have abilities. A lot of them come with special abilities. Now, this is just the basic core unit. Like, for example, artillery. Artillery can give support. So, for example, if I have 3 infantry and 2 artillery, then 2 of my infantry would receive support and have their attacks increased by 2, while the 3rd infantry would stay at 1 attack. So if I had artillery, this will increase my infantry to attack 2. So this is like a support unit plus its own statistics. Armor has a blitz ability. So it's got 3 attack and 3 defense. So if I attack with armor into an area and I win that area, because when you make attacks, all the units have to stop after they've made the combat, the calculation. Then the noble units can move. But armor has a blitz ability. So armor can still, if the territory next to the one I conquered is open and there's no enemy units, I can move in there with my armor, but I can't do it with any other unit. So the armor has this special ability. Fighters have their special abilities as well. They always have to land in friendly territory at the end of the turn. So it's like really simple, like this simple core statistics on how to play the game. So it's simple to play, simple move and attack, but it's got a lot of, there's a lot under the hood of this game. And the game is probability based. So that's why the computer is really good at this game. I mean, I haven't been able to beat it. The computer's wiped me out a few times, and it's really, really clever in the way it plays, because it's based on probabilities. So anything where the computer has just numbers to work out to see which is a better result, the computer is going to be really good at this. And in fact, a lot of times better than human beings. So there, you've got all this. And these carrier cruisers, this is just the basic core map. I mean, they've expanded this. In other maps on, say, the Second World War, you might get a mechanized unit. You might get a marine unit. So this is just the basic core abilities and the basic core of the basic game map, of the very basic one. So, and with this manual, you got everything it needs to tell you. I mean, it's a comprehensive manual that comes with this. Professional, eh? Now, at the bottom here, I mean, when you get to the end here, it shows you how to, like, it runs like a first walkthrough of the big world. So it does a whole tutorial, in-depth tutorial, where you could play the game and read this manual, do the tutorial while you're playing it. So this gives you a huge tutorial on how to play it. And then what impressed me as well is this tactical handbook that comes with it. Okay, so it teaches you how, like taking production, destroying units, gives you little examples of how to play the game and how to play the game well and what to do. So you can see that there's tons of little nuances of this game. All right, look here. This is area control and how you must do it. You got a little description. Now, I didn't go through all of this because the game is simple to play. That's what's the thing. It's just the nuances that you're going to take you a while to get used to. Diversion, all the delaying production, wearing down the enemy, area control, all the basic rules of military combat, all the basic tactics that you would use in a general war game. Area control, bait, offering bait, tactical concepts, concentration of fort. This is real life military tactics. Cannon fodder, counterattack, how to counterattack. Gives you a big drawing there on how to do that. Blocking. I mean, active defense, airfield denial, area block, how to block areas, trading pieces for pieces, and infantry artillery coordination. Now, lots of units in the expanded versions also have mech troops that also give, I think, not 100% sure, but they also give coordination and abilities to other troops. So it really can get really complex, but in an interesting way. Strafing, hit and run, how to play a hit and run game, how to hit and then run, and then, yeah, all of this. So that's the manual. I mean, the manual is like comprehensive. I mean, for a free game, completely free. You don't have to pay for it, nothing. It's yours forever. So I'm going to load up a game. I'll just close down as I keep the manual open. So when you download the game, you get this AAA icon. And when you open it, okay, you come to this interface. Now it tells you the version number and what last you played. You can select the map there. You can open a save map. You can download maps and then map options. Now, what I'm going to do with this first look is I'm going to play a very simple basic map with just the basic units so you can understand how the system works. And then I'll go back and I'll show you all the different variations of the maps and how to use and how they're used and what they actually mean. So these are the maps that and also I'll show you how the map options work. I'll show you how to download and how the download feature works. So these are the maps you can pick. All right, so this is the maps that I downloaded. Okay, now each map, just to give you an idea, there's the 270 PC, right? So this game, I mean, if you look at a game from Slytherin or a game you would buy for money, you would get the basic core game, like the 3rd edition. And then all these other maps would be like DLCs, right? Okay. Yeah, so these are all like DLCs on this game, but all free and continually updated and new maps being made. So you've got this game and then you've got all the DLCs for free. I mean, I was really impressed with this. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little run through of the classic Iron Blitz 3rd edition. This looks like the very basic map with the basic units. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to play a local game. All right, now I'll just show you this part. With every map that you select, each map comes with options. So on the map options, you can pick to not have tech defense, tech development. You can pick to have low luck. Now, low luck, because the game is based on luck, so everything is luck based, like in real war, but you can choose to have the luck to have less of a factor in the battle, which is also great for people that like that. So you can choose that. You can, units can repair hits at the end of the turn. You can pick all these options within this game system, this map that you play. So the map has got its own variation. Plus, you can also pick options to play it with to play the map with that. Now, I'll just pick here. You can play as yourself. You know, you can play as against the AI. The thing is, you can let the player play itself too. So you can watch a whole game with the AI against itself. Fascinating. You learn tricks from the AI. All right, so I will pick the human player as the German player, and I'll just do a few turns, just run through so that you know how this plays. So that I play it, and then it loads up this game. Now let me just finish all these units. Now the Russians are moving first, USSR. And Axis and Allies has a specific turn order. So there's an example of combat. He's got 2 aeroplanes. The aeroplanes hit at 3, so they've got a 3 attack. So they roll 2 dice, because there's 2 aeroplanes, 2 6, but he didn't hit there because it's over 3, that 5, but it's 3 and under, and he makes 1 hit. So now I'm going to pick a casualty. So the submarine or the transport. How's this for you? So I pick the transport, obviously. The computer does it for you because the computer knows which is the better to pick, but I'll pick the transport, not the submarine. So I could have picked the submarine. Then I say, good, there's my transport gone. So now the thing with subs, subs have also an ability of their own. Because they're silent and secretive, they can remain in the area and fight on, or they can submerge, which means they get a chance not to be hit and get away. Now, if I remain, I'm remaining against these aeroplanes. Now, subs is not good against aeroplanes, so I'll submerge. So there I made it. I made to get my sub away. Now, here, He's got 7 infantry. This is how simple the game system is. He's got 7 infantry. He's attacking me there in Ukraine, where I've got my units. He's got 3 tanks. He's got 7 infantry. I've got 2 tanks. I've got an aeroplane and 3 infantry. Now he's 7 infantry through 7 dice. But because infantry's only got an attack of 1, a dice at 1, he only got 1 dice that hit a 1. So he only hit 1 from the infantry. His tank has got 3 attack, but he rolled 3 dice because he's got 3 tanks, and he hit 1 with 3. The other were over. So he scored 2 hits. Now I've got to select them. So I can select the tank. I can select the infantry if I wanted them to be. I can just, okay, well, I could take this down and then select 2 tanks. So it doesn't matter what you pick. You decide on. So I'll pick the infantry because they're worth less than the tanks. Tanks are better. And I'll say, okay, that's what I want hit. So my 2 infantry off. Then I get a chance to fire with my defensive values against him. So he takes his casualties off, and then he takes a chance to hit me again. So that's how the rounds go. So he's hit again with 3 infantry and whatever, and he hit 3 with his tank. All right, he hit 3 with his tank. So I got to take 3 casualties off. So I picked the 2 tanks. I'm not going to pick the aeroplane because the aeroplane's valuable. And then my aeroplane was killed as well. Okay, so he won. So he took over this place. Okay, so now it's my turn. So here I've ended up in the map. And this is the units. This is how they look. This is the areas of the units. And I can, if I right click, I can move around. If I roll the mouse, I could go up and down. Okay, up and down. I have file where I can save the game, leave the game, and exit the program. I can zoom the map in bigger, smaller. I can make the unit sizes smaller if I want to. I can show the units. I can do all these different functions. On the game side, I can edit the engine settings, like the battle simulator, the combat. I can do all this type of stuff here and the game thing there. Sound options, map options, show dice. I can do all that type of stuff. I got web, debug, and the help. The help function, I can load up the unit panel. And for this specific map, it'll show me all the units that are in the game, the Russians, the Germans, and it'll give me the statistics, how much they cost, and all the move statistics, so I can see that nice and clearly. I can also load the game notes for the specific map, like the new additions from the Iron Blitz and all this type of stuff. I also got an explanation of the game options. Now on the right-hand side, I've got all my resources. This is all the PUs and the resources present, and plus 27 what I'll earn the next turn. So I got 32 now and plus 29 every turn. There's the sorry, let me just go to notes. There's the notes for what I had up here. Here's the territories. I'll explain that to you now. And this is the actions I need to roll for tech, and then all the players in the game. So the Russians always start first, then the Germans, then the British, the Japanese, Allies, and then back to me, the Axis again. All right, then the Axis. And then it shows you the Allies' total count, their victory, and the amount of PUs, and then it shows the individual countries. Here's the technology. This game also comes with, you can research technology. Very simple though, very simple. I can research super subs, I can research long range, I can aircraft, I can research all of this stuff, and jet power. Now, let me just see. Okay, that's that part. Now, here's the part where I roll for the techs. So, if I'm going to roll for a tech, now in some games it tells you, you can pick and choose what tech you're going to roll for, or it just tells you the tech that it's going to roll for. Now, in this particular version of the map, it doesn't tell me which tech I'm going to roll for. All right, so it's like a blind research. So I have to, I pick to roll for techs, and then it rolls, and then it'll select a random tech. Now it costs 5 PU every time I roll. So I roll a six-sided dice, and I've got to get 6 to unlock that tech for myself. But every die I roll, it costs me an extra 5. So PUs are purchase units. Now with PUs, I spend PUs to buy units. So if I'm rolling for tech, I'm losing 5 PUs every time. That's the less units I can buy. So it's a bit of a trade-off. So I'll roll for 1 just to see if I can get it. So I'll roll for 1 and I missed it. I got 5. I was 1 short of 6. So I got 0x. But I lost that PU. All right, I lost that PU. So now I only have 27 PU. Now, the game works in sequences. First, I buy the stuff I need. Then there's a combat. Then I have to do a combat move. And then I have to do a non-combat move. And then I have to place my units. Now, all the maps sort of run in that sequence. That's the basic core part. So if I look down the map, and you can see everything's like simple. I mean, I've got 1 plane, 3 infantry, and a tank over there. And then I've got here in Libya, infantry and a tank guy and an infantry, and I've got a battleship over there and a transport over there. If I highlight over these units, it comes up a little tooltip. It tells me this is and it tells me what the attack and defense and move. So it's got a 0 attack or a 1 defense, and it can carry. It can move. It can move 2. Okay, and it has transport capacity of 2 units. And every unit has a size. So this one, yeah. So the size, it's a 2 size. So it means it can go on there. Some are 5, some are bigger, so you can't put them on a transport. All right. Now, the game, the economics of the game is also simplified but nuanced there. So you got all these territories here. Let me just go to territories. Now, if you watch my mouse on the right-hand side over here, see this here. If I highlight on a territory, it says 3 PU. All right. If I highlight on my rundle, this is my capital, it says 10 PU. If I highlight over here, it says 6 PU. If I highlight on this territory, it says 1 PU. All right. So all the PUs of the territories I have are added up to give me this 32 or 27 resources that I have, PUs that I have, that I can buy stuff. So every turn, this is all added up. So if I conquer Ukraine over here, I would get 3 PU every turn, added on. All right. Now, these little factory icons here, these are the places where I can build, where I can actually, when I build, I can place my units in. I can't place them anywhere else. I can't. If I those units that I'm going to build now, that I'm going to do this production that comes at the end of the turn, I can only place it where the factories are. All right. Now the thing with factories is that now I can only put 10 units, up to 10 worth of PU. 10 units in this area. So if I had a factory here, even though I can produce 3 PU, and I put a factory there, that means I can build units there, but only up to 3 PUs worth of units there. And this place 6 PU there by the Italy. This is the Italy area, Southern Europe, and there in Algeria I can only build up to 1. So I'll only be able to put 1 unit there every time if I have a factory in there. So that's the production problem. I hope I'm explaining it properly, because it's such a simple game. So I'm going to build some units now, and then I'll explain the next phase of this game when we get there. So I'm looking here. So when I build they're all going to come in here with a rundle, my capital, and they're going to come here. Okay, or I can put them in here. So I got 1 infantry, 2 tanks there. I got a transport unit, so I can transport across. So I can build there. Or I could put here. But I want to go into here next. So I'm obviously going to put in here. So I want to put my bulk in here. All right. And I got 1 plane, 2 planes, and a bomber. But I think I'm going to build another one of those as well. And some tanks. So I'm going to build a tank. I'm not going to build Marines. I'm going to build a fighter. And I'm going to put the rest in infantry. Okay, good. So that's done. That's my next build. So that I'm going to place. I'm going to build that. That's done. Okay, now I move into the combat phase. So in the combat phase, I can move my units around, or I can enter into combat. So now I'm not going to do this 100% correctly, because I've been playing this game a few hours and I've been hammered every time. But I'm just going to do it so you can understand the combat mechanics. So I'm going to take all of these guys. So I just click on that province, and I'm going to select all, okay, and I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to put them all in here to attack these 3 tanks. But here's the thing: how do I know how do I know if I'm going to win that fight? How? Because I mean, generally I know I'll win, but I mean, how? I've got 3 infantry planes, whatever. And he's got 3 tanks, but I mean, how do I do all the? So this is what makes this game like really good. I mean, I'm really impressed. If I press Control B, I could do a combat simulation of that area of how it would look. So I can, in this battle calculator, I can pick all just different nations, but I've got Russians and Germans, and it's got all my units lined out there and all these statistics here that you can put in here and swap sides and try other things. But all I want to know is what are my odds of winning that? So then I'm going to press calculate odds, and it tells me I've got a 98% chance of winning, a 2% chance of losing, and a 0% chance of drawing. So those are good odds for me. Those are good. And I can run this calculator a few times because, I mean, it's based on die. So if you look, it's always giving me a 98% or a 96%. So I run it a few times, and then this time it gives me a 2% draw. So there's my probability of winning, 96. So I think I like that. So I'm not going to put anything else in there. I'm going to win easily there. All right. Now, I forgot to mention that in order to win this game, these rundles here, let me just tell you that these rundles here are capitals. Okay. Now, each country, each faction has a capital. All right. Each Axis or allies, each has a capital. America's got one there. Japan's got one there. Now, if I lose my capital, I lose all my P's for the P used for that turn to the enemy the enemy faction that took over the capital area. I lose all of that, and I can't build anything new until I retake that capital. And if I don't retake it, then I lose the game. So the game's about defending your capital. You know, these rundles here. Okay, so I've moved in there to attack. So I'm going to move the rest of my units into here, just to defend here, because he's sitting here with 13, and he's got 2 aeroplanes, so I need to defend over here. So if I press Control and I click on the tanks, that moves all the tanks there. If I click on Control and the infantry, it moves all the infantry there. Then I'm going to put a plane in there as well, just to give some beef. So this gives me some defense against that. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do here. Here I'm not going to do anything, but we're equally poised over here. So I'm going to move a tank down there because he can go on the transport and then move him into Libya. So I've got 2 tanks in there. And no, I can't. So I can't, oh no, I can't, because I've used the transport to move the tank. So I'm learning this game. I mean, it's just as you go along. Yeah, and I got a submarine. Now, the thing is, I got this Finland over here, so this is like dangerous for me because I can't, unless I got a transport here, I can't put troops in there. Because if I were to put troops in there, if I want to transfer troops, I got to go through this territory. So I got to fight him first, clear this territory, then I can transport troops there. So the only way I can get troops there now is if I put a transport that, like I have down here, and then I can transport troops across. So, but it's dangerous to have a transport because the UK's got all these transport submarines going on there. America's on the UK side, so he's going to come and whack me over here anytime soon. Even with the planes, I can put a plane there, but if I'm in this area here, if I were to put a plane there, if I wanted to transfer, I'd have to go through this area over here. So the plane can fly directly there, but the infantry has to go via transports. In France, yeah, I'm pretty covered. I think I'm all right. I am going to move one more unit into France, just to give him 3, because he's got to come through France to get to Germany. So now, the thing is, planes, I just wanted to tell you about planes. Planes, and I think this is in all the versions, planes can move 4 territories at a time. But every time a plane is in a combat that is won, so say I win this now, I can't keep my plane there. I've got to return my plane to land in an area that I have friendly control of the previous turn. So I wouldn't be able to keep my plane. I can win the battle, but I'll now need to move my plane back here. Otherwise, the plane is destroyed. So that's the thing. Those are the little things with planes and the units that you just have to remember. Otherwise, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple game. I love the battle calculator as well. That helps you work out all the statistics. So, as you see, it's based purely on probabilities. So let's just put that there. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to attack over there. I'm going to bring these guys in here. I'm wondering if I should put another tank in there, but I'm worried about, because I can move one tank there, because you can see it's allowed, because tanks have got 2. But the thing is, if he moves his entire 2 there, if that tank survives, he'll be stranded there, because you can't move back. So I think I'm going to leave it like this. All right, so that part's done. Now we do the combat. So I'm going to remain. Okay, I'm going to remain here in this Ukraine. So basically I won this thing. He lost all his tanks and I kept all my units. Okay, good. Now I've got a non-combat move. So non-combat is just like a combat move, except you can't make combat. You can't attack, but you can move your units around if they've got movement points available. I am going to move like I said, I'm going to move my plane back here because otherwise he'll be lost there. I can't attack with this guy. Now the armor has blitz, so if I had enough move points, infantry can't move at all because it was involved in combat. But if I had enough move points, I could actually put my tank over there and move in here because this is empty. But I moved my 2 points already for the armor, so I can't. So that's a blitz ability of armor. Is there anything I want to move? I could move this up here, which I think I'm going to do just to help me out over here. Because he's got, I don't know where he's going to come. I'm vulnerable here. I'm vulnerable here. And I'm vulnerable here because he's got 13 and 2. And he's got all of this in Britain. That he can also come in there. And my submarine is vulnerable as well because, I mean, he's going to be attacked by those aeroplanes. So I'm going to leave everything the way it is. I think I've moved everything I can. So I'm happy with that. So let's end that part. Okay. Now I can place my units. I can either place them all here or all here. So yes, with the nuances are, you got to think ahead because he will do the same in his next turn. So where will I be able to reinforce? And you got to remember the turns of how the sequence goes because at the end you can only place. So where are your factories? If I had a factory, yeah, I could do some other things. So it's all this ton of nuances and strategy involved in this. I'll say this again. I'm impressed with this game. All right, so I'm going to put everything in my capital area. Okay, cool. So that's done. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to end the turn. Now the British take their turn. And it tells me what the summary is, 32, and I'm getting 33 PUs because I captured this area over here. So let it just run. So then it just runs through the combats of all the other areas, all the other factions. So the British win that. I'll press the space bar. Now Japan is picking their units. They're doing all their calculations. Okay, and I'm going to win this. Oh, they're going to win it, sorry. And this is the South Pacific. So it's like a board game adapted to a computer game. To a computer. Yeah, that's how it looks. It looks like you're playing on a board game that's adapted, computerized board game. That's really what it is. Okay, so now the Russians are purchasing their units up here. And he's also fighting Japan down here, so he's also going to allocate units and fight them down there. So now he attacked me. Yeah? He had his 8 infantry and he got 3 hits from the 8 infantry. He scored nothing with his aeroplanes, so I got to take 3 guys off. And he's attacking me here in Finland, which I said was a vulnerable area. So I'll pick the 2 infantry. Okay, cool. There's my 2 infantry gone, and there's what he's lost. I've got to select 1 more casualty. There we go. And then he's still attacking me, but I'm giving him a good show. I'm really doing well. I think he's won this now. So he won there. He's now in Finland. Okay. So now I sit with a problem now because he's taken over Finland. Okay. So this is this is how this game plays out. It's tough to play as the Germans. Really, really tough. I mean, because you got Great Britain here and you got Russia coming in here and you got to defend against them. But luckily, I've got this area here. So, I'm going to roll again for another tech. Okay. And I got nothing. Okay. Now I'm going to pick and see what units I want to produce. I think I need I need tanks are always good, aeroplanes, and of course infantry. Infantry is important because it adds to the bulk of everything. So I'm going to buy quite a bit of infantry. I'm not going to buy another sub because he keeps getting knocked out of the water there. So yeah, I'm going to buy a tank, aeroplane, and the rest in infantry. Boom. Now these strategic bombers, pity I lost my strategic bombers because yeah, it's just a pity because those strategic bombers, yeah, I lost him up there. They have a big. I'll show you now. They have a big. Where's my strategic bombers? There we go. The bomber. They have a big attack but a weak defense, and they can perform raids, which means my strategic bombers are the only things that can damage the factories in another province. That's the great thing. They've got a very high attack but weak defense. So my strategic bomber could go in there, and I can actually bomb the units with my strategic bomber, or I could have bombed the factory to damage their factory. So that's the thing with strategic bombers. You can do that. You can't do that with the airplanes because the airplanes are great because they've got a 3 and 4, so they don't have a weak defense like the bombers do. So each unit's got its own little nuances and the bits and pieces that it can do and it can't do. All right, so now this is my okay. So I'm going to select that. That's my production. Now I'm going to do a combat move. Now he's got 11 there and he's got 1 there. I could easily overwhelm him there. I could then move these guys in there and I could kill him there. I could go in there. The only problem is that's close to his capital. Then I leave myself weak over here. So I'd have to put a unit in there. So I just want to see if I can take this out. Let's just have a look. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these. All right. And I'm going to select this whole lot, select all. And I'm going to attack up there. Okay, then I'm going to select all here. Just going to do a simulation. It's a great thing with this game. I'm also going to put a plane in there. And can I put a tank? I can also put a tank in there. Now, let's just see how I'll do here. Okay, so I'm going to press Control B. Now, I'm fighting all of this stuff here. All right, and he's calculated everything. You see, because I can't see on the map 100%. I know the units are simple, but when there's added lots of them, it's difficult to calculate. So let the computer see how my odds are here. Hey, 100% chance the defender wins. You see that? Even if I put it, I got a 1% there. All right, I'm calculating it over and over and over, and I'm just losing big time. So that's not a good move. So there's no real way I could have known how to do that or calculated that as a human if I didn't have that back little calculator. So I'm going to undo all those bits and pieces out of there. Boom. Okay, I don't want to take that attack. But wasn't that an awesome part of this thing that you can do all that? So now I've got to remember, he's way stronger than me there. So I got a bit of a problem here. So I'm thinking I'm not going to do any combat. I'm not going to go in here because I'll leave this area thin. So I'm going to equally strengthen these areas. Might not be the right thing. I'm just doing it as a course of the game, just to show you how the mechanics work. I'm going to put my plane in there, and I'm going to put all my infantry in here just to protect me. Yeah, and I'm going to have a decent presence over there. Or I'm wondering if I should. You know what? Maybe I should abandon this area here because I'm really left weak there. So let me abandon all this. Let me bring all of this back. Okay, let me bring this all back here and bring the tank back. Give that area back to him. At least I got and in the next move I'll have a big, so I'll put my plane in there. I think this is a better move. Let me just hit the Control B so I can move all of them there. So this will give me a better presence. At least got 4 tanks here and 10 infantry. So I'm sort of equal to him there. Okay, now here I'm actually gonna move. Yeah, I'm going to take all of these guys and I'm going to attack there. And I'm going to move this infantry to put a presence over there. So let's just see if I'll win this battle. I should win this battle. I know, well, but just for the purpose of this. He's got only 1 infantry. I've got all of this. Yeah, let's calculate the odds. Yeah, 99%. Okay, cool. So I know I'm solid over there. That's what I'm going to do there. And I should have maybe put 1 infantry guy there. Yeah, in France. But I'll leave it as it is because I want to see if I can battle him over here. All right, so I think that's my combat move. I'm gonna abandon Ukraine, keep him pile up there, and take him down here. All right, so we're done. Combat move done. So he plays that little battle down. So I won. I have one casualty. All right, which is fine. I'm gonna remain, and then he's killed. So he killed my one. He killed my one infantry, and I killed his, and I got this tank. I can't move. Let me see if I can move one of these guys back here. No, I can't. Okay, so because I can't move him back there. Can I? No, I can't. All right. So that's okay, because this is non-combat moves. So I got to be. I can only use to the mount. Okay, cool. So I'm still learning this. So I don't know it 100% out of my head. I'm just busy still playing this game and getting used to it. Okay, so non-combat move. Now, I'm going to keep everything the way it is, okay? Because I'm not going to move anything, yeah? Now I'm going to place wait, hang on. I'm going to place one. I think I'm pretty safe over here. So I'm going to place all my units in there. All right, in this place. And I'm done. And there we go. There's my end of the PU. And the next turn begins. Okay, so now he's attacking me down here in Algeria. 2 tanks in the airplanes. All right, so Japan is purchasing and moving. Now Japan's fighting Russia on this side. So Japan wins there against the British, and I think they took India there. Now America's going to purchase its units and move. They came straight into Germany. So they won there against the Japanese, and now he's placing all his units. Okay, now the Russians are going to move. Now he's got a big force over there. Then he came back in. Britain took this territory over here. There's a British tank in there, so he hasn't decided to attack. All right, cool. So now I'm going to. Let me just see. And the games, look, he's got transports, he's got submarines here, and aircraft carriers also have special abilities to move aircraft around. Well, it's nuanced, this game, eh? Simple to play, but difficult to master. Obviously, one of those types of games. So let's just do another turn. I'm going to roll for the tech. Okay, let's see if I get it. I missed it. So let me have a look and see what I can buy here. I'm obviously going to need to buy units down there in Italy because he's very close. He's got a tank over there. And I'm probably going to move both my tanks back here to give me some cover here because he can sort of gang up on me here from the 4 provinces here in Libya. So I'm going to buy the usual setup. I'm going to buy, let's have a look. I'll take, and you can also, because when you play all the other maps, they've got more units and stuff. This becomes quite complicated all. So you could separate them, into the land units only and all of that. So let me buy another tank and buy another airplane and put the rest in infantry. Done. Okay, and I'm going to say done there. Okay, combat move. Now, I'm just thinking, I know I can take this back here, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm thinking, let me take this back for the purpose. So I'm going to go in here, 2 tanks. I'm going to move in, say, I'll put in most of my infantry. So I've got a good presence over there. I'll put in a plane just to make sure I've got it, because I'm going to move all of this stuff across. All right. And I think I'm going to leave my infantry there. I'm going to go in with 6. Or just thinking, let me undo that 1. So I've got 5. So at least I've got 5 in there. I put in one plane. I think I'm going to put another plane in there. No, I'm going to undo that plane. Maybe I should put, I'm just wondering, because I'm going to get some infantry over here already, and I'm moving some, but I need a bigger presence here, just in case he comes through there. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I wonder if I should put a plane in there as well. I think I'll put a plane in there as well, just to add with that. I'm going to move these tanks, and I'm going to take all the infantry and put them there, just to cover. So I've got 8 infantry, and I'm going to move the planes back to give me extra after I... over here, I'm not going to do any combat. I'm going to put one tank back there. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that, and I'll put one infantry when I build down there. So this is a real worry. Yeah, I'm sure I can win this. Let's have a look at the battle thing. Yeah, 100%. Hopefully I don't lose any units. All right, I think I'm done here. Let's say done. And yeah, they're fighting up here. So I win this one. I don't take any casualties. I'm good to go. Now I'm going to move. Obviously, I need to move the planes back. Okay. And the one more. So I'll keep the planes there. I wonder if I should put another tank in here. I think I'm going to put another tank. Can a tank... Let me just see something. Can a tank... Because I moved one. No, he can't. He can't. There's some reason. I think he moved all his moves. All right. So that's probably why. Yeah. And area... I think maybe I should move... No, I can't. I need to keep a presence there. All right, good. Yeah, I'm going to keep the setup as it is. Done. And then I'm going to put one infantry here. Okay, yeah, one. And I'm going to put all the rest in here. Okay, go. Now I'm done. There it is. End of my turn. Now he's purchasing his units. Like they're going through all the bits and pieces again. Alright, so now he won there. He took me out there because he had planes all around here that he could move around. So luckily I moved my tank back there. Okay, so he's done that. There's a fighting American here down here in the South Pacific. Okay, Japanese one. And hammering here. So I'm going to pick the transport. Then he's killed my battleship as well. Okay, good. So he's now cut me off here. Okay. He's got the attacking here. I'm going to select 4 casualties. Yeah, I'll take them with the infantry. Okay, I'm going to select another 4. And I'm going to select another 4. I think I'm out, eh? Okay, so I think he's won there. Yeah, the Russians won. So now he's coming, yeah. So the computer's really good at this because of like I mentioned before, it just works out what the probabilities are of coming in here, just based on probabilities, and that's the nuance of the game. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna not roll for a tech. I'm gonna buy some infantry. I'm gonna buy another tank and another plane, maybe another infantry unit. Okay, good. Let me just change that. I think I could buy some more infantry. Good. And another infantry. All right, so I can get a lot of infantry. Okay, so I just want to check. I'm going to need infantry here because he's got a transport down there. So I don't know what he's carrying there. His plane is coming. There's an aircraft carrier. That's why he's got the 2 planes. Okay, so now that's done. So that's built. That's going to build. Now I got the combat move. I'm taking all of these guys out of here. And I'm bringing them back here. And I'm taking all of these guys from there, and I'm bringing them in there. So let's just see what my odds are for this here. Okay, let's calculate the odds. 100% win. Okay, good. So I'm going with that one. I'm leaving everything. I can't move down here because he's got tank and infantry. So I'm going to leave that down there. So let's run with that and see how. So he gets 1. Okay, and I'll pick. Yeah, that's the one I'll pick, and I win. So I got this territory back. All right, now I've got a non-combat move. There's nowhere I can move. Let me just. Okay. Now hang on. Let me just have a look. So anywhere where I can move. I think I'm going to keep the setup as it is. Done. Yes. Oh, you see. Now it's telling me area cannot land in East Union. Okay. Keep moving. So I've got to actually move him back. Because if I let, because he had a unit in there and we attacked with the aeroplane, so I got to move him back into there. Okay, cool, done. Now I'm going to place 1 infantry unit here. Just there you go, just 1. Okay, good. I've got 2, and I'm going to place all my units in there. Then I'm done. Okay, good. I'm going to play 1 or 2 more turns of this, just to give you an idea. I'm not going to finish this game, but you'll be able to get an idea. Alright, so now I'm going to select the cavalry and attack. Oh, with that. Spacebar again, just to get through it. He's beaten me. Yeah, he's taken over all North Africa's east now. Okay. Okay, now the Russians are moving up here. I wonder what they're going to do. Because he didn't move. He's put all of this in here with his allies and everything. So let me just play 1 more turn and then we're done. I'm not going to roll for tech. I'm going to get some infantry. I'm going to get a tank. And then I'll get some more infantry. Okay, cool. Done. And I'm going to say done. And I'm not going to... In fact, I'm going to move all of this, control all of this to there, and the tank there, and the aeroplanes there. So I've got a big presence over there. Sheesh, I should have actually moved 1 down here. I don't know what he's got. He's got the planes there. And I'm not going to attack anyway. I'm going to leave it. Okay, done. Non-combat move, no. Yeah, I'm worried about down here, but we'll see how that ends. Okay, good, done. Yeah. Perfect. I'm going to place everybody here, and then done. See how easy it is to play. Okay, then I'm done. And I collect my PUs. The goal is obviously I want to capture the capital of each, and then that faction is out of the fight. And I get all their PUs and everything else. But there he's come down in Italy. Bob here, he's taken over my capital. Well, I don't know if he's taken it over, has he? We'll see now. I think he has. No, he hasn't. He just bombed. He bombed my factory there. And hit that. Okay, there. Russians are moving. See, the Russians have got the Japanese on their side, so they're going to fight on two fronts, just like me, just like the Germans have to. Because he didn't decide to attack. I think I'm going to end it there. I think I've showed you the mechanics, the basic mechanics of the game. Oh, let me just say that again. Music's quite loud. I think that's it. I think I'm going to end it here. I just needed to show you the basic mechanics of the game. So it's very simple. It's move and place, and your objective is to capture the Rundle cities. Then that country's out of the game, and you get all the PUs, and then you fight on until you kill all. You manage to conquer all the allies, or as the allies, you manage to conquer Japan and Germany, and you do it in this simple move and place and battle calculator and all this type of stuff. All right, so let's look at the other. I'm going to leave this game, and let's start with the. Okay, let me just start with the downloaded maps. Now, this function, when you download this game, this comes with this ability to download all the maps that are available. You got the high quality. I downloaded most of the high quality maps, so that's why there's no available. I downloaded all of them. You can also download updates for maps that you have already, and you can download these maps. So you got all the different maps. I didn't download everything, but you got them all games within itself, and then they've got also experimental maps. I think this is just for people that these maps are just like people testing them out. So I'm going to just give you a download so I can understand. So I'm going to download the Battle of Jutland. All right, so let's install it. There we go. Now I'm downloading it from the internet. Okay, there's downloading. It says 100% downloaded. So I'm going to close this. Now if I look at my select maps, it should be here. Let me have a look. Battle of Jutland. There it is. So this now I can play it. Boom. And it also has its map options that I could pick for the Battle of Jutland. All these things I can put low luck on and all this type of stuff. So I'll play as the Germans. I'm not going to play. I'm going to select all. Now I don't know how to play this. Now this is a specific map on its own, so it's got all its own rules. So I'll play as the humans there, so you could just load it up so you can have a look at this. All right, so let's play it. Let's play it. Okay, so I can pick all the things I want to buy. I've got 2,000 PU, so I'll just buy a few things randomly. I've got land and I've got sea, so I can buy stuff on land and sea. So I'll pick all of this. There, one of each. Okay, cool. So that's done. All right. Then I'm done with that, and then I've obviously got the movement combat phase again. So it follows that same basic core principles. So I got this Battle of Jutland here. I can fight the Battle of Jutland on this. And if you look here at the help, here's all the units. And they've taken all these battleships, and it's based on that same principle: attack, defense, move, and HP and carry capacity. But all the units are based on those sort of statistics, and then they've got all their little special abilities just for the Battle of Jutland. Okay, there you go. Like naval bases, the British have got specific battleship shells, destroyer shells, submarines, naval bases, torpedoes, transports, and all this type of stuff. I can also then go look at the game notes. So how to win, all the specific rules for this particular game, and how to win it. There you go. There's the Battle of Jutland. You could actually play it, and there you go. All right, so that's that, just to show you how all these things all come together. You can play 2000 BC. Okay, so let's select that. Same thing, I got map options for 2000 BC. Some of them got expanded ones, some of them are just not as expanded. So I'll pick all AI, okay, and then I'll pick human for the Roman, just to show you how this thing actually plays out. Oh, sorry, let me just play it. Okay, good. So there you go. Now the Carthaginians are moving first. Okay, so look, he's got his own sort of dice Roman numerals, all this type of stuff. And then they win and whatever. So each map is unique with the same basic. So just get the music out. With the same basic core principles of attack, move, and defend. That's it. But each map is unique. All the units are unique based on those special abilities. Now I got the Roman thing, and I could go and look at the Romans. The Romans have got they've got a war elephant. They've got cavalry. They've got cities, hoplites, spearmen. This is a Carthage unit. Sorry. And then the Romans have got the legionnaires and the Vettites. And each faction has got its own sort of specific troops and stuff. Then all the rules as well. Game notes and how to play this specific game based on the core principles. Attack, defend, move, and whatever. Okay, let's just leave. Now, what's really impressed me is that the AI can play all of this. Can play all of this and play it well. Because it's based on probabilities. That's all the AI understands. So it just works out the probabilities. Gets a score. I'll say this over again because this is really impressive me. It takes the core statistics and based on those core statistics makes its moves. It's all probability based. It doesn't need to know what those units are. That's it. That's why the AI can play all this. Now, I wanted to show you the big world. And that's why I definitely want to show you the big world. Now, the big world's map options are smaller than the one I had, but they're the big world, and I'll load up as the Russians this time. Sorry, so that we don't go through a whole turn. Okay, and I'll play as the Russians. Human. Okay, good. So they start first, so you can see how this thing loads up. Now, in the big world, remember now. We played the Iron Blitz one. You know the one I went through just to show you the core mechanics. Now, this is a variation of the Second World War game. Now, you notice, the biggest notice here is that there's more territories. The territories are expanded more. Now, you got Hungary, Romania, you got the Balkans. This was all just one territory. Now, you got a whole ton of new regions added into the game. So that's the one I played was the basic core with those maybe 3 territories here. One big one here, one big one here. The capital was over here. There was just one territory. Now you got all these little territories that have been ticed up. This is big world. And this one has got artillery. You know, there's an artillery unit there. We didn't have artillery. And it didn't have that in the other one. That was the featured artillery. So some of them will, I'll just give you the unit help. In some of the things, they've added mech infantry and artillery. And so, yeah, this one's got artillery. There it is. Now I can support infantry. So it's made it a little bit more complicated. And I think the submarines and the battleships also have specific statistics maybe that are different. So, yeah, and you got Chinese. You got the Chinese units here as well. So you got Chinese in here and Japanese. There's these 2 factions. You play this whole game. Basic core principles, you got to capture the capitals, these rundles. They all stay the same. And the tech roles, I mean, if you look at where's the players here? Yeah, you've got same sort of thing, jet power, but these might be different in different maps. You might have different techs to roll for. And for example, if I discovered jet power, it would increase my fighters they would go to 4 attack move and 5 defense. So that's how it upgrades your jet power and stuff like that. So yeah, and then you've got extra units. You got the Chinese involved here as well, which you didn't have before. So yeah, I just needed to show you this, how they've expanded the World War II. You see how you can play more complex versions of the World War II. Okay, let's just leave that. I wanted to select House Divided. Okay, this is a Civil War one. All right, so we'll play. And I think I mentioned this before. The AI can play against the AI. You can select everybody hard A, watch the AI play. So I'll play as Human just to load it up. This is a Confederate Civil War. You got this whole thing going here. Victory objectives, movies, music, whole thing. It's all period based. Now I can take a loader. Let's take no actions. And I got this whole map going on. Yeah, I mean I don't know this game. I don't know how to play this specific map, but yeah, you got it. All right. And you got all your units here that you can play on it. I mean, yeah, this one's got breastworks and battleships and cavalry and civilian economy and depots and elite infantry, engineers, entrenchments. I mean, and all abilities to go. A general, yeah, you can actually have a general here. All right, and he gives 2 leadership. He gives +2 to supplies. He can produce units, all this type of stuff. You got infantry there. You got and all this other stuff you can build. All right. So in this specific game, this map, so it's like a completely new game within this general system. Then you got all the game notes on how to play the game and all links where you can go look at the victory. And it's got like this is a whole manual. Now look at this carefully. This one specific map is a whole manual on how to play the game. All right, whole manual with its beginnings and parts, its tax infrastructure, unit resource consumption. So it simulates the whole American Civil War. War financing, loan rates, all this type of blockade effects, all this type of stuff. And I think it's got technology in here as well. It might have, I'm not sure. But there you go. So you've got a whole game that could take you years, probably a couple of months to play, or even years to play, just on this pure one map. I'm impressed. All right, so let me just show you another one. I just want to show you a couple of maps so you can see the versatility of this game engine. And 1941, World War I. Let's go and have a look at that one. We'll play as Germany. Picard AI, and then I'll pick human there. There we go. Let's load up the map. It's ready come to play. Yeah, I'm now in the First World War. Okay, with all its little nuances and its own little map and whatever. And I think there might be 2 or 3 World War I versions of this maps that you can play with different rules. There you got all your unit help and all the different units again. You got transports, trenches, zeppelins, battleships, all this type of stuff. Gas. Yeah, all pertaining to the First World War. Then the game notes comes in here, the land units, naval, air, technology. Look at the technology. You see the simple technology I showed you. Now look how they've applied it here. Now they've expanded the technology. So like, for example, innovation, armor would unlock the tank unit. Land defense, mobile warfare, cavalry moves at 3. So and then it increases those statistics of the basic cavalry unit to 3. You see what I'm saying? And it's got all its own rules and whatever going on there. Let me just show you one more before we end up here. Lord of the Rings. Hey, say I want to play Lord of the Rings or Battle for Arda. Okay, Middle Earth. Star Wars. You adopted this game for Star Wars. But let's just have a look at the Middle Earth one, just to show you that part. So I'll play a hard AI and I'll play as a free flow as a human. Okay, so we'll play that one. Let's load it up. You got the own music, everything going on here. So now they're going to move this first faction. Go. So now I got this. I'm playing as the free folk, and I'm up here somewhere, and I'm playing the whole Lord of the Rings. And let's look at the units. Okay, so now I'm sitting as the free folk. So I've got all these units: spear infantry, rafts, light cavalry, hobbits, catapults, castles. So what do the Saruman units have? They got orcs, right? Raiders. They got trolls and wizards. We don't have wizards. So each faction here has different units. Some factions have different units that are pertaining to that faction. They have their own units pertaining to that faction. And all their statistics, once again, based on this attack, defense, and move system and transporting cost. And then there's special abilities added in, for your wizards and all this. And each unit. Now, these guys have got Balrogs and battleships. And they got a Nazgul, and also got orcs and trolls and Uruk. I can't pronounce that. And then you've got all the other ones, the goblin units. They got bats. So yeah, you've got a whole universe in the Lord of the Rings that you can play with its own specific rules and abilities and units. And then the game notes teaching you how to play this map with these units in this game system. All right. I'm going to leave that. I think we finished with all that. Okay, cool. And then you've also got the Battle for Arda, which is also a Middle Earth thing. Napoleonic empires, which I think I've shown you. Okay, basic Did I show you? I think I have. I'm not sure. But this is also, you go in there and you fight as Napoleon. You've got a Pact of Steel. You've got Star Wars, as I mentioned. And then all these variations of World War II. All right. So you've got the classic one. You could fight World War II. Usually the basic Axis and Allies game is from 1942. But now, with the system, you can fight from 1940. You can fight, I think, from 1941. You've got versions that fight from 1941. You can fight as the Japanese, just as a pure Japanese nation on its own in World War II. You've got World at War, the big one. So all these, and then you've got a tutorial. So as I said in the beginning, I mean, this is the game system is the basic, Axis and Allies, Iron Blitz, with the basic units. But all of these are like DLCs. These are games in itself within the system that you get for free. You don't pay for it. It's all free. It's all working games. And the AI can play all of this. All of this. So how long would it take you to play or learn all the nuances of this game? And you're getting it for free. You don't pay a cent. I know I keep reiterating myself, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with what they've done here. And then finally, you can play online. This is the local game we be playing. You can play by forum. You can play by email. You can host a network game. You can connect to. You can engine preferences, map creator tools. I think I did show you. Yeah. Let me just have a look. Yeah, downloaded maps. Where's the thing? You can also download maps, a map making tool. And how to make a map for yourself and put your own specific units in there with their own abilities and all this sort of thing. Yeah, you can make a map. All right. And you got the user guide. The map creator tools, which you can download to help you make a map that we can play here with all its own specific rules and abilities and things in it. First look, I'm impressed. Really impressed. I didn't realize you could get a game like this, free like this. You would normally have to pay for a game and buy all the DLCs. And now you get this free game, perfectly patched, regularly patched, supported, open source. You can do whatever you want with the game. You can actually modify the source code. You can give it away, and it's yours forever. There's nothing to pay. And every update is just for free, even the new maps. So they're giving you DLCs down for free. So I know I'm harping about this. It's my first look at AAA, and hey, who would be impressed by this? And I can promise you, it's addictive. I've played for a few hours and I can't stop. It's so addictive because the system is so simple to play that it doesn't take effort, but it's so intuitive and simple. But the nuances behind it, every turn I want to let me just see if I built a submarine or an aircraft carrier, how do I use it? Because I need... So, and all the different variations of the rules as you play the different maps, as they expanded in the complexity, but yet still keeping the base simplicity. Simple. Yeah, very impressed. Okay, cool. So that's my first look at AAA. I'm going to leave, I think I mentioned this before, I'm going to leave the link to AAA. Let me just go to AAA. Let's just go onto the internet and go back to the site. You can find it here, AAAgame.org, world's foremost open source grand strategy game. Yes, it is. Yes, you are. Definitely. So, oh, jeez, I don't know why I opened that. Okay. So, I'm going to leave this link to this website so you can go download it. Download it, have fun, play it forever, do whatever you want with it. It's yours. So I'll leave the link in the description below. All right, so that's my first look. Please like this video. Please share it. And please, once again, subscribe to my channel. It's free, just like AAA. It's just like this game. It's free. You don't pay a cent for it, so please subscribe. Because I'm growing my channel. I'm growing it, and I'm doing free videos. I'm doing these videos on all the top free games that I find on the internet. So please subscribe. And leave comments and suggestions or whatever you want on my channel. You can do that. So until our next top free game first look of the next game, this is Sean from the Games Yard. Good day on you.